Hey, we are back and 'tis the season to be spooky. Hence why I brought out my dried roses and a drop-dead candle that just so happens to match everything so well. Your girl Natasha is back to intro you into a new episode of Wake and Skate with another new skater to meet. This time, this skater has one of my personal favorite Instagram handles, simply because I love partying hard. If you know of ANDROIDWK, you may have heard of ANDROIDWK, her retired derby name that lives on today. You may have seen this skater tearing up the streets of Toronto, making roller skating look glamorously smooth while punk rock falling apart all at the same time. I'ma stop gushing so you all can learn more about her on this official double digits episode of Wake and Skate.
Yes! Oh my god!
Look at that! Full airplane on. Here we go.
Oh my god.
Full airplane!
She makes me feel like a roller skater. If I had a chance of all, I could roll that never ends. Chinese and we know damn waiting. I'd be with you roller skating. If I had a chance of all, I could roll that never ends.
Hi, my name is Nicole. Some people know me better as ANDROIDWK. I'm currently living in Toronto, Ontario, which is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, the Huron-Wendat, the Haudenosaunee, and the Mississaugas of the New Credit under the One Dish, One Spoon Treaty. So I moved to Toronto from Sioux Lookout, which is Treaty 3 territory, in 2010. I was going to fashion school, and I had these big ideas of this cool city girl that I was going to become. I had a whole list of things I wanted to do. I was going to go to shows. I was going to make friends. I was going to be the belle of the ball. And then I started school and realized, oh, this is taking up my entire life. And oh, my mental health is being thrown in the trash. So I went from having these big dreams to kind of being crushed. In my second year of university, I decided to, bite the bullet and join Toronto Roller Derby's Fresh Meat program. I got a fresh meat package on Kijiji, wore skates that were 2 sizes too big for me, and started skating. And that's where I kind of found out that I'm good at roller skating, which was for me surprising and exciting, because I've never been the master at everything. I've been jack of all trades, master of none. I can figure things out. I can sew, but I'm not that great at it. I can play guitar, but I'm not too great at it. My drawing skills are subpar, but when it came to roller skating, it was just so natural to have these 8 wheels on my feet, and it was something that was super special for me to embrace and continue to do. So I was super stoked to be skating. I would skate outside, to the grocery store before I even learned to stop, trying to grab onto things so I could stop without rolling into traffic. And then it was time for Fresh Meat to end and move to the Divas, now Vipers, which was the farm team.
Laid out by ANDROIDWK.
The draft of the year I finished Fresh Meat was a little light, so they, the powers that be said, throw your name in. If a team picks you up, you can start playing home team. So I was lucky to be drafted by the Death Track Dolls that year and matched my Andrew WK persona to a bloody white shirt team jersey and got to skate with amazing skaters my first year. I barely played. I probably played 7 jams, and I got to practice. I got to practice with really amazing skaters that were so strong and open to teaching me shit and really encouraging and being that kind of, you can do better because I know you're better than what you think you are. And that was just so supportive and nice and wonderful. And I get goosebumps right now thinking about it. So that year we won the Battle of the Boot. I probably had a huge hand in that, in the one jam I played that game. But the next year I became one of the co-captains of the Death Track Dolls, and we had a very new team, and we're kind of discounted as a rebuilding year. But we myself and my co-captain went on to lead our team to winning the boot for the second year in a row. Super proud of that, and proud of all my little babies that were there that year. That year I also played for the Bay Street Bruisers. Again, a wonderful opportunity where I got to travel to the Midwest and play roller derby and drink with a bunch of friends.
A big hit from ANDROIDWK. And that allows Sneaky D to get through and pick up all 4 points.
Yeah, it was wonderful. And that was also the year I first started ramp skating and park skating. So my skills kind of just started getting stronger and stronger. My footwork got better because all the muscles that are normally irritated by like rumbly streets are now super strong. And so everything just got better and better. Until I got a concussion from roller derby, trying out for the All-Stars. I got a hit into the cheekbone here, and it wasn't like the worst concussion, but I was off for about a month and a half. And it's really hard, you go from having something be in your whole life to not being able to do it anymore, and you get really depressed. And dealing with, mental health and school and being unemployed for a summer, it was just a lot. So eventually, get better, worked with a sports concussion therapist, and got back to skating. Got approved for contact, and it was great. I still have my notes because it was so important for me at that time to get back to playing roller derby. The next year, I was chartered to the All-Star travel team and barely played. Probably played less than I did in my first year. Combination of things of just being one of the youngest skaters on the team, injury, dealing with that, and then concussions again. So it kind of just seemed like I was always getting them and that they weren't stopping. And at that point I was like, this isn't worth it for me. The fun isn't there anymore because I can't play how I want to play, and I don't want to get brain damage anymore. Like, I know I'm already gonna have dementia probably, so why am I making it worse? So I kind of just focused more on street skating. Just had to say bye to derby. Took a year off from even helping out or managing anything, and just roller skated in the streets. My first goal on my skates was dropping in. So I had, been pumping on the ramp, trying to get used to those legs. And then I remember getting up to the top of the ramp and looking down at Dunbat, which is Toronto, my favorite one in Toronto. And getting up on this 5.5 foot ramp and looking down and being like, holy shit, how the fuck am I going to do this? And then talking to skateboarders and having them look at me and be like, I don't know, you're on your own. Like, I've never seen these here before. I don't know how you're going to do this. And falling a lot on my ass and scraping it up and getting lots of bruises. But eventually I got it. And, dropping in is kind of one of the first things you need to learn to do if you're going to skate on ramps like that. Another one of my early goals was 360s and practicing them on flat ground, trying to bring them into the ramp. Again, that was also another thing that, skateboarders actually had like some good tips for me, and I was like, oh, hell yeah, thanks, bros. And then another goal actually I had was to drop in fakie. So I remember standing on the Dunbat ramp, again, about 5.5 feet up, just standing there backwards, holding onto the rail. And a friend came by and he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, trying to get the guts up to drop in backwards. And he was like, do you want to do this on a smaller ramp? And then he brought me to Soy Bomb, which, it's like going to the Foot Clan hideout. It just was such a magical place. So those goals, I do them now. I can 360, I can fakie 360, I can 360 onto the coping faking, but not forwards. I can 360 off the coping, I can drop in backwards. It's been a couple years. I've been doing this since 2012, so it's been a while. But my goals constantly keep growing. So instead of 316, I want a 540, and I'm kind of almost there. I just drag my foot really hard all the time, so that's not like official. I want to learn to invert. I want to learn to land an invert because I can get up there. I can't land one. Street skating has been a really big focus for me this summer. I have done a lot of ramp skating, and sometimes you go to a ramp and you're kind of just bored, and you're like, wow, what am I going to do? Go back and stall there, and then come back and stall again? Wow. So I was really focusing on jumping stair sets, and I want to one day jump the biggest stair set that I can without throwing up. I want to just get more confident in doing weird shit on the streets, because that to me is way harder than anything on a ramp. I'm also have been working for probably the last year or so on grinding and sliding. If you don't know my skating style, I don't use any blocks or wide set trucks. I like to keep my skates really light. I don't like to have the assistance, and I'm a stubborn son of a bitch, so I don't use them. I have a block, I have trucks, but I tried them out. They didn't feel like my feet anymore, and I was just like, you know what? I either don't need to do it or I'll do it without it. And then I saw people on Instagram doing it without it, and I was like, okay, I gotta do it without it, because I'm sure as shit not gonna be trying to relearn everything with blocks on it just so I can slide. So those are some things where I made a lot of progress on, and I'm super stoked to say that I can 50 stall pretty fucking well now. Yeah, so roller skating now in my life is a little different. I mean, it's not really that different. It's pretty much the same. I still love doing everything I can on skates, whether it's, if I'm going to run errands, I'm going to do them on my skates. If I'm meeting up with someone, I'm going to meet up with them on my skates. If I'm going to the bar, I'm going to the bar that lets me in on my skates, or restaurants and stores that'll let me wear them in there, because that's my priority, is to not take my skates off. But I also learned a lot that it's really important to have multiple arenas in your life. I started fashion school, and all I did was school, and then I joined Derby, and that's all I cared about. And now I'm 28, I have a job, I try to keep my house a little bit clean and functional. I have to deal with my own social life and family, and there's other things I want to do. I want to play guitar, I want to get better at sewing. I can do it again after 5 years, after being traumatized by, deadlines and just ryerson. I still love it. I'll still do all those things on my roller skates, but it's just become an aspect of my personality and not my entire personality, which I think is very important. It sucks to stop roller skating, and we're in 2020. There is a quarantine that's probably going to come up again, and indoor skate parks probably won't be a thing. So getting myself prepared for that is, I got to find other things to get me that same hit of that sweet serotonin or whatever makes you happy. Roller skating, even just as a whole in Toronto, has changed a lot. TikTok invented roller skating this year, so it's blown up here. It used to be myself and a handful of other women that would either come out frequently or come out semi-regularly. We tried to do some Chicks and Bowls meetups. People were interested, but it was always like a secondary thing to roller derby. Now that roller skating is kind of being seen in certain circles or different circles, that you don't have to play roller derby, or you don't just have to go to the roller rink. You can just do it for whatever you feel like, or a skate park. It's just like expanded the people who are out. So I'm seeing more diverse groups at the skate park. I'm seeing more integration of skaters and skateboarders, which is pretty cool. It's really just opening a lot of new friendships and a lot of new people to be out. The skate scene, I think, like skateboarding scene for a long time has been very cis male dominated, which doesn't really foster welcoming areas for anyone who doesn't identify in that way or doesn't feel like they fit in there. And to have more femme bodies, more trans bodies, more indigenous and black bodies at the skate park is like a great thing. Like, skating's for everyone. So yeah, it's great to see it. So I like to think that roller skating is more progressive than skateboarding in certain aspects, especially when you consider that, Derby allows trans skaters to skate on women's teams, and men's teams allow women and whatever identifying skaters to skate. That's really, I like that a lot. We're still not perfect, and there's still so much development that we all need to do and remember, like, where the roots of skating came from. And also, like, remembering, like, whose land you're skating on, because someone who loves skating but also, like, wants to tear apart society a little bit, it's like, oh, I need cement to skate on. I don't know if there's much else I need to really continue blabbering on about. Don't wear sticky wheels at the skate park because you'll probably break your leg. Okay, bye.
Yes, okay, so I wanted to share some wisdom from Android that I didn't include, but I'm gonna recite now and will probably engrave on my headstone later. She said there are 2 tips she can give about roller skating. Number 1, do not wear gummy outdoor wheels on a ramp. The 90s are over. Number 2 is skate because you love it. Skate because it makes you feel strong, and don't give up. Most importantly, don't take yourself too seriously. We have 8 wheels strapped to our feet in a very comedic fashion. Take it for what it is. And I cannot stop rereading and giggling about that. So thank you so much. ANDROIDWK, Nicole, Sticky Nikki, Pizza Slut, whatever you might know her as, such a fascinating person deserves all the nicknames. It was awesome to be able to pick your brain about roller skating as well, and it was epic the amount of knowledge and power you brought to us, with facts about the land that we skate on, how better to make the world of roller skating a more inclusive space for all, and of course, all the skate tips. So, miigwech, thank you so much for all you did. And we hope that you all tune in next time to see what skater we have to feature on our 11th episode of Wake and Skate. Till then, weirdlings.